Now let's talk about financial management. We won't cover everything. We'll only discuss a few points to appreciate financial management and manage projects. You are encouraged to read through the reference material to have a better grasp of financial management. Una muna, balikan natin ang results chain. For implementation, we start from left to right, from inputs to impact. The inputs for project includes funds for the financial capital, which we usually request from donors. Pero tinitingnan din natin ang ibang inputs, such as knowledge and skills of individuals or human capital, the capacity of the organization and its relationship with other stakeholders or social capital, the physical capital in the community and the various assets of the proponent. We can also think of the natural environment, the policies, structures, and practices in the community as part of the inputs. Recognize that funds are not the only inputs, nor is it necessarily the most critical. But also appreciate that funds do fill a gap that may be essential in initiating the project. Recognize that the quality of work of people organizations and NGOs depends on their sensitivity and responsiveness to the community's context, issues, aspirations, and acceptance. Also, remember that POs and NGOs do not own the funds, but they are entrusted to ensure the quality of work for the benefit of the intended community. Because of this responsibility, we have to ensure proper financial management. Financial management entails planning, organizing, controlling, and monitoring the financial resources of an organization to achieve its objectives. There are several tools for this. For planning, the strategic plan, the business plan, activity plan, the budget, work plans, cash flow forecast, feasibility study, etc. For organization development, the constitution of the organizational chart, flow diagrams, job descriptions, chart of accounts, financial management, also the budget. For controlling the funds, again, the budget comes into play. Others include the delegated authority, procurement procedures, reconciliation, internal and external audit, fixed assets registry, vehicle policy, insurance, etc. For monitoring, tools include evaluation reports, budget monitoring reports, cash flow reports, financial statements, project reports, donor reports, audit reports, evaluation reports. The key is to recognize that financial management is not a task of an officer or a unit or a project. It is part of the entire organizational system. Para sa financial management principles, gamitin natin ang acronym na ACTIVISTA. Accountability is the moral or legal duty to explain how funds, equipment, or authority have been used. Kasama sa responsibilidad na binigay sa organisasyon ang pananagutan sa tamang paggamit nito. There should be consistent use of financial policies and procedures to ensure efficient operations. Mahalagang nakasulat at alam ng lahat ang financial manual para masiguradong malinaw at parating ginagamit ang mga financial policies at processes. For transparency, organizations must be open about their work, providing information about activities and plans to all stakeholders, kasama na dito ang komunidad. Kapag hindi, sinyalis ito na may tinatago ang organisasyon at madaling mawawala ang tiwala ng iba na sinabi natin ay mahalaga para masigurado ang quality of work ng organisasyon. Integrity means each individual must operate with honesty and propriety. Managers and leaders must lead by example. Financial records must accurately and completely record and report financial transactions and status. To be financially viable, an organization's spending must be kept in balance with money coming in, both at the operational and strategic levels. Viability is a measure of the NGO's financial continuity and security. Managers should prepare a financing strategy to show how the NGO will meet all of its obligations and meet its plans. Financial stewardship involves taking good care of the financial resources that are entrusted with them to make sure that they are used for the purpose intended. This applies not only if we have scarce funds, but more importantly, when we have a lot of it. The system for keeping financial records and documentation must observe internationally accepted accounting standards and principles. Dapat kahit sinong accountant sa mundo ay kayang maintindihan ang financial books ng organisasyon. For financial planning, the budget is the key financial planning tool. The budget provides a tool for planning the project, to project how much the organization needs to further fundraise, to guide implementation, and to facilitate monitoring and evaluation. There are three types of budgets. Yung income at mga madalas na gastusin o madaling maubos na gamit ay pumapasok sa income and expenses budget. Yung mga equipment and mga facilities na pangmatagalan o magagamit sa ibang mga proyekto ay hinihiwalay para mas madaling makita ang kanyang long-term at multi-project functions. Sa cash flow projections, makita natin ang pagpasok at paglabas ng pondo sa proyekto at sa organisasyon. Ngayon, balikan natin yung project budget na ginawa natin para sa project proposal. Ang budget na ito at iba pang budget sa ibang proyekto ay pumapasok sa income and expenses at capital budget. Lalapatan ito ng schedule kung kailan papasok at lalabas ang pondo para makagawa naman ng cash flow projections. Makikita natin sa cash flow projection kung kailan mataas at mababa ang pondo ng organisasyon. This gives us a lot of information necessary for project implementation. Do we negotiate with donors regarding the amount per tranche or the schedule of payments? When should a new project come in? Do I look for a loan to fill gaps? Do we lessen expenses during a certain period? Do we start talking to staff regarding austerity measures? Do we have a surplus to invest to generate passive income? When do we schedule procurement of expensive capitals? Should we make annual or monthly payment of fixed bills? The cash flow projection will feed a lot to these decisions. Para sa project monitoring, babalikan natin ang project budget at cash flow projections. At binabangga natin ito sa actual expenses. Ang mga resibo, kontrata at ibang supporting documents ay pinapasok sa accounting records para makapaglabas ng cash flow report at ng budget monitoring report. Sa cash flow report, makikita natin kung tama nga ba ang level ng pondo batay sa nauna nating projections. Mabibigyan natin ng kasagutan ang marami sa mga tanong natin kanina tungkol sa cash flow. Busiin naman natin ang budget monitoring report. Makikita natin dito ang approved budget, magkano ang actual expenses, at magkano ang natira o ang variance. Makikita rin natin ang budget utilization rate o ang porsyento ng pondo na nagastos na batay sa budget. Madalas ay hindi 100% ang paggastos natin sa budget at hindi dinedemanda ng donor na eksakto ang mga ito. Kadalasan, nakasulat sa kontrata kung ano ang flexibility na nilalagay sa budget. Halimbawa, kapag sinabing 10% flexibility on budget items, tinitignan natin yung mga subtotal ng mga budget chunks o yung mga kulay green sa ating halimbawa. Makikita natin na halos lahat ng budget items ay pasok sa 10% flexibility o 110% utilization rate, maliban sa budget natin sa roundtable discussion. Dapat maaga ito makita ng project manager para pwede niyang ipagpaalam sa donor na lalampas siya sa 10% para sa budget item na ito. Kapag maayos ang paliwanag at reasonable naman, madalas ay pinapayagan ang ganitong budget reallocation request ng donors. Pero kapag sinabi na ang 10% flexibility ay per line item, bawat gastusin ay kailangan busisiin kung lalampas ito sa utilization rate na 110%. Sa halimbawa natin, 6 na line items ang lumampas. Dapat ipagpaalam natin ang bawat isa dito sa donor. Mahirap ito at mabusisi. Kaya dalasan, nakikipagsundo tayo sa donor na budget items at hindi line items ang application ng flexibility. Makikita rin natin sa halimbawa na to na mas flexible kung lump sum, pero mas madali ring mandaya kapag lump sum ang ating budget. Kaya kadalasan, required na ipakita ang lahat ng line items for transparency, pero ang application ng flexibility ay budget item. Para sa total variance, makita natin na lumampas ang gastusin sa binigay na pondo. Konti lang naman, kaya hindi mamumulubi ang organisasyon. Ayos lang ito sa donor. Hindi nila dadagdagan ng pondo. Mas lalo na kung maliit lang ang sobra. Pero mahirap kung kulang ang gastusin, kahit konti lang. Ibig sabihin nito ay kailangan isauli ang pondo sa donor. Ibig sabihin nito na kailangan ayusin nila ang sarili nilang accounting records at ipaliwanag sa kanilang sariling auditor kung bakit hindi naubos ang grant. Mahabang proseso, kaya madalas ay nagpapasobra na lang ng gastusin kahit konti. What do we do when there are variances? First, let's analyze the reason behind the variance. Is it temporary? Na-delay ang hiring ng staff? Nakakuha ng discount sa pagbili sa supply sa 11/11 sale? Na-delay ang implementation ng proyekto? Hindi ka agad nakapag-reimburse ang CO? Lahat ito ay temporary at mababawi rin. O baka naman permanent ang dahilan. Malaki yung price difference sa budget sa mga equipment, ibang salary rate na binigay sa mga staff, lumobo ang mga gastusin ng mga major activities. Kung underspending at temporary, we should monitor the progress of spending and maybe plan to spend immediately if activities are delayed. If underspending and permanent, we can increase activities or negotiate with donor to reallocate funds. If overspending tapos temporary, we can delay future budgeted costs or consider the cash flow implications. If overspending and permanent, maybe we should start fundraising, use reserve funds of the organization, cut costs, or reduce operations. Mahaba-haba na yung ating na-discuss. Any questions?